Alright, hopefully I've got 5 good tubes. You can see the chassis not in too bad a shape for the period. I just shared some photos of the chassis of a little Crosley 517 FIVER radio, and I've got the power transformer out. There was some heat shrink placed on this. I'm going to go ahead and check the remaining leads underneath the bales, and I still need to do some de-rusting on those, of course, anyway, so it was a perfect opportunity to get those out. I want to go ahead and kind of characterize this power transformer. There's been a lot of failures for this transformer. You can see the size of it. It's extremely small. So you see I've got some temporary windings around the core. Again, inside the flux area of the transformer, 5 turns. About all I could squeeze in there. I can actually induce a voltage into the primary, measure that, and then measure the voltage on the 5 turns that I have. Do some quick math and extrapolate the number of turns on the primary for the transformer, probably plus or minus 1%. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm just using a little step down transformer, produces a little less than 12 volts. Let me get that plugged in. I've got 2 meters hooked up. One looking at my input line voltage to the primary, you can see here, of 11.88 is what we'll call it. And then up here I've got a float meter just looking at the voltage on the 5-turn winding. You can see 0.067 is what we'll call it. Okay, I've switched things around a little bit. I'm on the 5-volt winding that feeds the 5Y3 rectifier tube. It's used in a half-wave mode in this particular receiver. Again, my input voltage to the primary, we'll just stick with the 11.88. It keeps bouncing back around there, you can see. And if we go back up to the fluke and read the voltage across that 5-volt winding, you can see we're at 0.474 to 0.475. Looks more consistent there with the 0.474. We'll take note of that. All right, let me switch the leads over to the 6.3 volt winding that feeds the heaters of the remaining tubes. 11.87 to 86. We'll call it 86. And going back up to the 6.3 volt winding, you can see we've measured 0.758 to 59. We'll call it 0.758. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and switch my leads over now to the high voltage winding. Again, this is not a center tap transformer since we're just using the rectifier tube as a half wave rectifier. So I'll go across my high voltage winding. Take note of my input. It looks pretty consistent here at about 11.88 is what we'll call it. And jump up to the meter to look at the high voltage. And you can see across the high voltage winding 30.1. All right, I just jotted everything down on an index card as we went, so you can see the freehand math. One thing that jumps out at me, you can see the 5-volt winding up here at the top, an expected voltage unloaded of around 4.67 volts. Again, that's unloaded, so we're already less than we should be. And you can see the 6.3 volt winding expected at 57 turns, giving us a voltage unloaded of 7.48 volts, and of course when loaded closer to 6.3. And then for the high voltage winding, just under 300 volts and approximately 2,253 turns. Gives us a turns per volt of roughly 7.59 or 7.6. Doing the math and just a little overhead, the 5 volt winding should be probably closer to 38, 39 turns. My guess is when they wound the transformer, the 5 volt winding is probably the most outer winding, and they just ran out of space in the window. You can see how tight it is. So the size again of the core for this transformer is only 1 inch by 0.75 or 0.75 square inches. So a very small transformer. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Thanks for watching.